The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday.
Hey.
I'm in St. Louis, Missouri with Andrew Collin. What's going on? Is there a different look going on here today? Did you get a haircut?
Mustache.
But there's something else too. I thought I got used to the mustache, but something looks different.
Really?
No boots. Shoeless.
Shoeless Andrew Jackson.
Sandals. You got some flippies?
Some flippy floppy, some reefs. You know, it's getting 90 degrees out.
I know, it's
Time
so
to
hot.
let the toes hang.
I forget how hot it is outside because it's so
Yeah.
cold up in this bitch. I walk out there, I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's too hot.
It is getting really hot.
I mean, it's scary.
I
Things aren't looking good.
Look, you get to boil an egg out there or whatever.
Have you, what'd you do yesterday?
After the pod?
No, before the, I don't know. And are you stalling to think by saying after the pod?
So like,
That's like when people go, that's a really good question.
can I have a minute? Can I have a minute?
No, can I have a minute is actually being honest.
Can I have 30 seconds? Can I have 7 seconds?
That's being honest. Saying, that's a good question when you're waiting, when you're trying to figure out what to say. That's someone stalling and trying to.
Yeah, you know.
That is a really good question why I was texting that other girl.
It's interesting
I'm really
you
glad you asked that.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah, before the pod?
Because I was thinking about that myself.
After the pod. Golf?
It is interesting, though, when you do listen to some of these podcasts and they speak so slow.
I don't know how people do it.
Let's try to speak slow. What do you think would
Okay.
happen? Like,
Let's try.
So ask me that question.
Andrew, what'd you do yesterday?
Yeah, it's interesting you asked that. You know, the times, we're in now, it's tough to really do anything with gas prices going through the roofs.
Here's the problem.
It's
why we
hard.
talk fast is because we're not smart.
We not smart?
Yeah.
Or because we are smart?
We're not smart. So we talk fast because people, the information
trick
we're giving
people.
is not that dense and it doesn't have a lot in it. So it's the same reason I do 4 podcasts a week. Then no one can go, your podcast sucks. And I go, well, I give it to you 4 times a week, motherfucker. Whereas if someone was
Yeah.
no one can tell.
But don't you think some of your points that are actually dense and are smart, because I think
Yeah,
you're
and then I slow
underplaying
those down. I do. I slow them down
you
a
have
little
Noah
bit.
slow it down in post?
No, I just slow down my talking and I go, listen, I think that this, like, I have a more deliberate tone.
Yeah.
But when we're just saying stupid shit, it's just like,
I know, it's hard.
because I listen to Sam Harris on 1 speed. I don't speed him up. I listen to Conan, 1.25. Sometimes I got to slow it down because he's just so fast. But like, the more comedy and comedic and easygoing it is, the faster I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think people who talk slow either do it so that they can be understood and they're trying to make a good point, or they are narcissists.
Oh, and their time is not your time?
I'm definitely have narcissistic tendencies. There's no fucking question about it. I really do constantly consider how I don't think people, I'm always considering how other people probably don't want to be listening to me. As much as I do put out stuff to be listened to, I'm chronically doing things to avoid someone going, you suck. And then saying, well, that's why I work so much. I realize it's because when I put out one thing, everything is on that one thing. But if I do a ton of stuff, I can go, I'm so busy. That's why it's bad. I always have an out. Or if, my stand-up show, that's why I do a meet and greet afterwards, because I want people to get something out of it that literally they couldn't get anywhere else, which is I know I'm good at stand-up, but what I'm best at is being personable with people and making them feel seen in a way that if I was meeting the Dixie Chicks like I did in 1998, would have liked them to have met me. When I met the Dixie Chicks, you just walked in and stood behind their chairs and didn't say anything to them and just snapped a picture and then moved on.
Wow.
And so I just am like, okay, I'm constantly aware that I'm probably not enough. It's low self-esteem. I realize that. I obviously do sometimes have high self-esteem, but...
And then sometimes you self-destruct. I do it too.
Well, yeah.
But then why, if you're so worried about that, but then you also then will lean into things where you're like, it comes across like you're like fuck it, I'll say whatever the hell I want.
Because then also because I know I'm right in those times. If I'm on my vegan, soapbox,
you were talking fast.
Well, that was out of courtesy for people being like, shut up, bitch. But I'm still going to say it because I know that it's a difference between knowing I'm right and knowing I'm talented. Like, I question my talent all the time. I always feel like an imposter. And I know this is like hard to hear for people who are like, but I'm a huge fan of yours. If Taylor Swift said she wasn't talented, I might be like a little bit hurt. Like, wait, you think you're shit? But I think you're a god. Every single talented person thinks they're not talented secretly. Even, everyone who listening to this has imposter syndrome. I have it too. And I think that though but when it comes to veganism, that's what I always say. And I'm not going to get this. I'm talking about veganism, not about it. I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm just touching on it. I just know I'm right. So I have no imposter syndrome of like, that is as right as, should I kick my dog or not kick my dog? That to me is like, there's no moral argument to be had. Like, it's done. Like, the argument's done. And there's so few things in life that I'm sure of that. And that's probably one of the only things. I'm sure of that, and I'm sure that I'm not as talented as people think I am. But then sometimes I do think I'm really talented. Do you ever get like really
Yes,
sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm
course.
like, you're the hot. Like, Amy used to have a joke about this where she's like, do you ever like look in the mirror and you're like, I'm a fucking model? Like, she used to have a joke, and so I don't want to even say anything that sounds like I'm ripping that off, but I really do relate to that of like, sometimes I definitely am like, I'm one of the most talented people ever. I'm one of the hottest people ever. Like, I feel so good.
Well, I think...
And I can feel the opposite of that within minutes.
I think our brains are similar in regards to, one, how we feel about ourselves depending on how we're actually feeling, like, internally. You know what I mean? Like, I think depending on our mood, even before we start to think about how talented we are, am I sad that day? Am I depressed that day? It's really...
Everything is dependent on your emotional state, for sure.
But, like... at least me to like one morning I could wake up thinking I'm a brilliant comedian. The next day I can't even think because and then in regards to looks,
all emotional.
Literally like I have dysmorphia a little bit of the face where I'll look at the mirror and I'll go, you're a handsome man. And then literally the next morning when I had a little bit of soy the night before, my face starts going, I look puffier.
It's not dysmorphic.
And I just see maybe I am. I don't know.
Do look.
But do I? No, but that is the thing. Do I look
No, we all
different?
have body dysmorphia because we're all seeing pictures of ourselves that are not what we see in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, you're seeing the image that you're looking at. Your eyes are on the different side than when in a picture. So it's a flip. If we flipped every photograph, it would match more accurately what you see in the mirror. But we are, we're not symmetrical. So we're all seeing this image in the mirror and we're used to it. And then we look at a picture and we're like, what the hell is that? And it's because it's at a different angle that we're not used to. Even if it's straight on, it is not oriented to what our face looks like. The other day I was on Instagram Live and doing wacky filters that they have on there. And I did the one that's like a bunny nose, and then the rest of your face gets like sucked in, bigger eyes, smooth skin, small nose. Well, no. The nose is a rabbit nose, but still smaller than mine. Like pink cheeks. It just becomes, and then you get used to that, and you're like, I'm fucking stuck. The smallest little things that you can't even, they're imperceptible. That people were logging on not having known that I was doing this other filter. And they're like, you look so pretty. And I'm like, it changed my face shape, you guys. Like, we're being lied to constantly about what we look like, and even with our own eyes. There's this crazy thing that I came across on Reddit that is not able to, I cannot do it on the podcast. It would be like not interesting radio at all, or even for the video podcast. But it's this weird phenomenon that is almost related to what we're talking about, where they have you look at a crosshatch, like a a cross in the middle of this screen. It's like two lines, an axis, and then on both sides there are faces, normal looking faces that just like flip and switch to different faces, just all different faces, and they're normal looking, and you just stare at the center, and like on the right and left are the faces, but they're in your periphery. and you just stare, and then they keep changing. And within 4 seconds, they start looking like aliens. They start looking like monsters with big teeth and big googly eyes and crazy, like weird eyebrows. Like it looks like they're monsters all of a sudden. And then you go, no way are these the faces are definitely changing to monsters. They're normal people. And it is so
why?
Well, some people in the comments said that perhaps it's because when we cannot see what is next, when we are in a position where we cannot tell what is coming at us or what kind of threats there are, where we can't get a good look at it, we see the worst just in order to alarm us enough to, err on the side of that thing is going to come get us. I said it to so many people yesterday.
Because you would think they're changing it, huh?
You would think, it is so insane how these faces look. They look like Picasso in terms of...
What kind of motherfucker thinks of something like this?
I mean, it's called some kind of effect. It's a scientific effect. But
I mean, do you think kids nowadays, because of filters, like their reality, ever since they're 5 years old, is fucking with like changing your face, whatever, and it's just normal. It's not like when I see a filter, I still think that's not me. That's not me at all. Like I have this idea of what I look like, and if I fuck with it at all. But do you think kids?
We still have mirrors, and so that is helpful.
That's true.
And but sometimes you get a skinny mirror, and you go, "Ooh, my," and with good lighting.
Ugh.
Like, did I tell you about the so this weekend Matt was taking pictures, as he always does, of us on tour, and he's actually just gotten so good at it that sometimes we'll hire a photographer and his photos are better than the person that brings the equipment. And he took this picture of me this weekend, and I've definitely gained weight recently, and he cropped it in a way. Like, so after the show, him and Anya go back to their hotel room, and then we'll get like 8 pictures sent to us that they edit at 1 a.m. So like they'll be up on their laptops just hanging out, decompressing, and then and I just picture them in there, and Anya seeing a picture of me and going, you should crop out. Like, I just know she won't post that because her fat is kind of coming out of the top. Like, I just feel my friends editing for me, and I hate it.
There's something so funny about
when people edit
Anya
photos of me.
putting glasses on to go,
I know it.
Too fat.
I've done it to friends before where I go, don't show her that picture. She'll fucking kill herself. Because I know my friend's sensitivity. But Matt sent this curiously cropped photo of where it just cropped right under my boobs. Like where, there might be a roll of fat because I was bent over kind of doing this praying hands. And it was cropped in this way that I was just like, the next day I go, hey, can you send me the full image of that? Like, I want to know the truth. And he's like, I don't even know where it is. I don't know. I think that's the way I shot it. And I go, no. This is cropped. Please send it to me. So then he sends me another one, and it's not the same picture.
Oh.
And I was like, these pictures are different. And I toggled between them and screen recorded.
Did you put a cross in between them?
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, I looked like a monster. No, I just don't like people editing photos of me. I don't like... yes, I sometimes will toy with lighting to make me look better, or I will do, a different angle. I will never, ever edit my face. I will never do a tint on something because I just want to know the truth. It's the same way I feel about Tinder photos. Like, why would you ever put better looking photos than you can be? I want to be... But that's almost a problem for me because people look so good in photos and I'm always taking, the best of a batch, but I won't edit them. And so I'm on this F-Boy Island poster that's coming out that my publicist sent me.
Yeah.
And it's me and the 3 girls who are a decade and a half younger than me. And we're all on these rocks looking seductive. Mm-hmm. And the publicist sent me and was like, hey, this is the key art for F-Boy. Your arm does not look as skinny as it is. Do you want us to do something about it? And I was like, no. What? And then I look at the photo because I'm like, oh, what's this going to be? It looks definitely like, an arm that is not, it's being pushed against my side. Like how it your thighs fan out when you sit down. It looks like that for an arm. So it doesn't look as thin as my arm is, but I was just like, no, because and I'm not doing it for the children of the world to be a good example and to show a real woman's body. I'm a skinny woman, so it's not like I'm representing anything that, whatever. I'm just saying I didn't do it because I don't want to lie to myself because then I have to. I hate that Welcome Home Nikki Glaser is on, and I have to post clips from it because I do not look like I gained 20 pounds since that show shot. So every time I post a clip from it, I look like this little twig, and then the next picture is like, "Come see me in Boise," and I'm like eating a potato on stage, and I look like a potato, and it's like I struggle with editing photos because I want to look like what I look like. But I can't help it when it's something from the past like that. And I'm not trying to be like, this is me now. I literally won't even post. I paid thousands of dollars for this photo shoot years ago, and the photos are still usable, and my publicists want to use them, but I won't let them because it doesn't look like me anymore to me. And I think people will think, this is what I think, people will think I'm trying to look younger. And I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm trying to look, to lie.
Okay. Well,
let's break this down when we get back.
Yeah.
Andrew!
Do you look younger? Do you look bigger? Who really cares? Because we're all going to pass away in a flood.
Glad you didn't keep rhyming that. Jesus Christ. Man. That was scary.
Yeah, I would never. I know better to make a song too good.
All right, we're back. What do you make of all of that?
I mean,
because you like taking pictures where you look,
I think,
really good. Like you'll pick the lighting where you look really, really debonair, and I think that you don't mind a filter, right?
You could literally go through my. I don't agree with that. I literally posted. If you look at my photos, I don't like look sexy anymore. Like I think I've done that before, but like, okay. I mean, this is literally my last photo.
Well, yeah, but
but then you're leaning into funny. Yes. This one's a good photo.
Yes. No, I mean, I put up good photos, but I'm just saying, what do you make of? Or no, I guess what do you make of it?
Well, what do I make of it? I make that I think.
How do girls? How do they do this? How do they crop themselves? We have a mutual friend who always looks so filtered that I go, I don't recognize this person. Mm-hmm. How does she think that this is what she looks like in real life? Like, that's what I don't understand with people when they do this stuff.
I think that...
How do you keep it up?
There could be what is the line? Because, okay, let's say you get Botox.
There's a line. You got to cut it out of your face.
If you get Botox and you get, like, different things done to your face.
Well, that's not a lie because that is my face. That is not... that's the face I'm going to walk around with. That's not a face that I'm editing in a software.
That makes sense.
So it's still me.
Yeah.
Even body shapewear, I don't even like Spanx. I think it's a lie. And I'm not doing it.
But if you got the surgery, it'd be honest.
Yeah, because that's actually changed my body. I went through a bloody procedure. I didn't just,
No, it's interesting.
And shapewear is really exhausting to wear and painful. And whenever I wear it, I can't stop talking about the fact that I'm wearing it because I don't want anyone to think that it's my natural state. If someone ever goes, "You're hot" on stage, what do I say? I have on fake eyelashes. I have on fake tan. I have a cinched belt on. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to, for some reason, I need people to know that I'm trash. Because because I feel like I've been misled by all these lies. Because I look at girls and I'm not doing it for the children. I promise you that.
But I think you do post photos where you do look fantastic.
But nothing about that is fake.
I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying that it can come off as like, yes, I want to be completely honest, but also I want attention and likes from looking great. So
right, but only when I actually look great on my own DNA merit and like because it's the way God made me and the way God made that lens and those lights.
But then you could argue, then you keep going and go, well, the makeup and then this
well,
and
I've
the lighting.
written that in captions. I've gone, the lighting was amazing. Yeah. I'm sucking in so hard that my stomach hurts. I always say that stuff.
I'm just trying to think of the filter because like, let's say your arm in the photo before that looked actually like your arm, right? Like maybe that photo with the angle, with the lighting, made your arm look bigger than it is.
If they could take my arm from the other photo and put it in, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's I will not have them take an inch off my arm and then change the way the rock formation is, like, you know.
But I guess that's where, I mean, you could look at it that way, where like everything else is proportional in what you actually do look like, and then because of this angle, it looks shitty. So maybe you take your arm from the other arm. Like, so I don't know. I think it is. But
why do girls feel better when they lie in photos and post a photo and get likes from that? I feel if I like, even like when people are like, I like this special you did, and I know that it was bad, I can't take that in. I can't take any of those compliments in, because to me, I'm like, oh, they are liking something that I know isn't good or is a lie.
I would think their argument would be, one, you're an attractive woman and they're not as attractive, and being attractive, like you said, gets rewarded, and they want to get rewarded and make a career.
Or maybe to them, they just like, to them, what you feel is like subpar work, they think is really exceptional. It's perception.
And I can understand it for work, but I'm wondering how
That's
women can accept compliments when they've edited photos of themselves that doesn't look like them. How do they get, and are they getting self-esteem from it? They wouldn't keep doing it if they didn't.
I think it's
I'm just
a
wondering
dopamine
how.
I just think it's an elevated culture from heels and makeup and bras.
Oh, it's
and
just like an
Spanx.
extension of
It's
the
just an
lies.
extension of the lies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
With extensions in there.
I think it's a dopamine craving.
I know, but like, don't you feel weird if you get a like when someone's like, when people think I look beautiful when I have makeup on, it actually hurts it makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
And even when, I'll tell you, I don't like likes on photos where I look super hot. I don't get off from that because it actually depresses me, because I go, look how people like me so much when I'm the prettiest version of myself, as opposed to just my normal self. Like, being liked is really about the most shallow shit, and it sends me into a depression. And
okay, you're probably not going to accept this when I say it, but when I see photos of female comics like on stage, and it's a professional photo and they have makeup on, and especially like your tour posts and stuff, I don't just like it because I think you look beautiful. I like it for the statement that it makes, which is,
yes,
all right, we have a woman out there. She's getting like the same type of production that a man would get. She looks really good. I like her top. I like the way her hair looks. I don't think it's that vain.
Contains multitudes.
It's funny.
But I do know that when I do post a picture that's not me on a stage, and it's me on a beach, just like looking hot in the golden hour lighting, that gets more likes than me like helping out at an animal shelter. Do you know what I mean? Or like holding my niece and having a tender moment. Like, that's where I go, I mean, we know our society's shallow. It just like confirms it to me that I guess it just stems from my thought that I'm unlovable unless I'm giving people what they want. And that depresses me because I just want to be lovable the way I am, even if I was like a burn victim. And that's why my favorite videos are the beauty queen fell in a fire and had to find a personality. But
do you think you'd feel better? Let's say you go up on stage, you're wearing jeans, an old t-shirt, no makeup.
I would never do that, ever, because I don't want to disrespect my audience. I want to put in effort.
But isn't the effort of being 100% authentic?
No, that's another thing. My act isn't enough. I think that I'm not talented,
and
so at least they'll see a girl who's...
Yeah, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying, like, that's the other option, is to go... And then a lot of, we'll go the other way completely.
But I can't do that because for me, I think I'm not talented enough. And I think people will go, her act sucked and she was not even good to look at. Because at least the girls that bring their husbands along that don't want to be there and are like, I hate female comics. I'm literally dressing hot so that they are like, well, at least she was hot and I could just fucking stare at her. Like, I know that's sad to admit, but I do. And I dress up. Because girls dress up for my show, and I want to like it feels like showing up to a party where you're underdressed. I would never dress like Adam Sandler with my stand-up. I would never do that, even if it was like, I feel ridiculous. I want to,
But you did it the one time in Canada because you had to.
Because I lost my luggage.
No, I know, but there's something.
But there's an excuse.
There's an excuse.
If there's an excuse, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I can. That's why I like bondage, so I don't have to fucking move because there's an excuse if I'm tied up. I can't do anything. I love a forced excuse.
Yeah.
Or a forced reason for why you can't.
You should go half and half.
That's why there's parts of me that sometimes go, it would be nice to be a burn. I'm not saying nice to be a burn victim. There'd be something freeing about not ever having the ability to ever be hot again.
Yes.
That is taken from me because if it's on the table, I always feel like a failure that I'm not trying enough. Like I have to go do a podcast today, Jason Nash's podcast. I think it has a huge following. There's going to be video of it. He's always hanging out with these young YouTubers. There's going to be young people watching it. Here? No, he's flying here to film me for it. But
nice.
And I just feel like because it's video, I have to curl my hair. I have to dress up. I have to look presentable again because it's on video. Things that look visually pleasing are more fun to watch. And that's why I always tell you, like, fix your lighting. It's not because things that look good are going to get eyes on them, because you want to look at things. That's why when you make your phone in grayscale, you don't want to be on as much. It's not as pretty. It's not as satisfying. It's not because want to fuck your phone.
I had that green room we were in the second trip, or second Pittsburgh, had like 19 mirrors in it. Like, and so I could see I was standing in the center room. I'm like, God, I look handsome. And then I caught like a side profile. And I think whatever you want to, but I feel like it's dog shit. Like from the side, my neck, I have this fat now that has gotten here. Like I'm getting older. Like my neck looks fatter. My eyes look like, I don't know, indented a little. I just look, I feel like my back of my head is cut off. I feel like the back of my head got cut off by a tomahawk that someone
like
scalped me.
Cutter.
Yeah. And then my neck, this thing, I'm sucking my own dick all the time.
Oh, tech neck, yeah.
Which is cool, but it fucks my standing. So I see all this.
It's cool.
And it fucking drives me nuts. It really does. And then I go, I don't know. I maybe as a guy, there's less like.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't freak out when I see a bet. And people are probably going to write to me and say, Nikki, you sound really sick and you should go back to get in some sort of recovery program. You should read this book about, you're not on camera constantly. Unless you're a newscaster that is to see your face every day, and you sit in hair and makeup every day, and you have to post photos of yourself every day, and you have to go on a video podcast every day. And the second you wake up, you have to walk in your room and look at your fucking, puffy face from not getting sleep last night and put some makeup on it and make yourself look good, and then go to this video podcast and then go on Zoom and try to pitch a show on this. But unless you're looking at your face all day, every day, and your part of your career is based on how you look, do not write me. Because you don't know what it's like, and this is why I talk this way. And I'm not crazy. I'm a little crazy. But the reason I'm so focused on my looks is because it's part of my job. And I wish I could be blind and not see it and deal with it. But people write me all the time and go, you sound so sick, girl. This isn't good for you. And it's just like, well, what do you do for a living? You have one school picture you take a year, teacher. Or maybe you're on Zoom and so you have to look at yourself, but like you shouldn't be. You should be teaching and maybe turn off your camera. Like there's solutions for you. For me, I have to fucking look at these photos and post them. And if I don't, then I just paid Matt money that is worthless, because I can't have someone else go through the photos and post them, because when I do that, people don't have the same taste as me, and they'll post a photo where I'm like, oh my God, why would you? I have to look at this stuff. I got sent a clip yesterday that I didn't want to look at because I looked fat in it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to feel bad about myself, but I had to, because there's content within the clip, and if it's not funny, I don't want to post it. My career is in that clip. And so I have to watch it. And then, I used to never look in the mirror before I was a stand-up. I didn't look at photos of myself. I didn't analyze things. I wouldn't be on Instagram if I weren't a comedian. I wouldn't, because it's not good for my mental health. So I am just making do the best I can. I'm working in a bar, and I'm an alcoholic. And I have to deal with drinks and smell them and taste them all the time, and I'm an alcoholic.
So why not do this? Why not? We've talked about this before. You have manager, whatever. You have a team that could do your Instagram. You would never even have to look at it.
I just said, because when they look at it, I don't like the pictures they chose. I've tried to outsource it before, and because when I finally see it, and I go, but what if they just the worst one? Because sometimes your friends, they'll go, you look beautiful in this, and you go, what the fuck? You think I look like that? Like, there's no one you can really trust except yourself,
unless it's your old comedy.
And by the way, this isn't usually how I feel. I'm just saying this today. Like,
no, I get that.
It's
sometimes how I feel.
When did you get that F-boy poster, that email?
Oh, I got that months ago. And and my publicist felt so bad, because I wrote back and I go, I don't Photoshop my body, and I never will. I do not change my size. I understand taking out imperfections because they do like retouch your face and things, but I will never change my size ever, 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 ever on anything I do. Unless it's against my will and someone did it. And posting your stand-up, I could tell she was like freaked out. She was like made of grave, because she pretty much said your arm looks fat. And then I go, no, I like it. I don't think it looks fat. And I'm like, so I wrote her, separately, being like, don't worry. I'm not mad at you. It's totally fine. You were looking out for me. You're right. It does look a little meaty. Yeah.
What if, because we tried that before, we talked about that before, if, like someone like Nate Bargatze, right? He just puts up his stand-up. Just his stand-up, and then a picture, maybe one every 20.
Yeah.
would that think? Do you think that would help you in your brain? Like, but then people don't pick the right stand-up
stand-up?
clips.
Oh, no,
because you have more.
I have.
You have so much
You
material.
think I would be doing stand-up clips if they were easy for me. They are
Yeah.
the most hard for me
Those
because
are
they
even
are
harder.
a moving picture of me, which I actually love myself on video. I have
Yeah,
no problem.
you look great on video.
I can watch anything I do on mute. I love it. It's my voice plus my jokes and content that make me go, oh God, you're so untalented, and then I can't post it. I
Gotcha.
literally can't post any clips, and I have shot 5 special. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 specials. I have 7, 6 or 7 specials,
and not late night.
A half hour to an hour
Yeah.
long, and then I have 11 late night appearances. I have more
Why don't you
content
just
than
put
fucking
that up?
anyone.
You just write that every single day. Just post that
But I
on
can't
Instagram.
post it. I'm
No, not the
truly-
video.
I know, yeah,
Just-
right. Like how my tally.
Yeah.
I would like to remind people.
I
go
forget sometimes.
Go look at my IMDb and you tell me like that I'm not 73 years old and haven't been working in this business since 1961, because it looks like I have been. It is. I don't even know how many things I've done, but it is insane. And I would be more successful if I had an easier time looking at myself and I was a little bit more
or bragging about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I can brag about my achievements, but
Yeah.
I tricked everyone to get to them.
Well,
I did it.
only like 12 at a time.
I didn't trick besties because this show, there's nothing I'm doing that's like sleight of hand or I feel like is sneaky. People that listen to the show and like me from the show just like me for me. And I don't need to start singing that song, but
I'm
you know the
not-
song I want to sing.
I can feel it in my teeth.
But I really do. That's why I love this podcast. I feel like it's the first time where I could look like anything and people would still listen. So thank you for that. When we get back, we are coming back with our Wednesday segment that we do once in a while called Besties Being Guesties. And it is a very special bestie guest that I can't wait to
This guy
introduce
knew
you
you
to.
before Instagram.
Before Instagram. Before the internet.
Whoa.
All right, we're back. It's Wednesday, and it's time for our new segment that we've only done once. This is our second time doing it. It's time for Besties Being Guesties.
Besties being guesties, yeah. Besties being guesties, yeah.
Yeah, today's bestie,
write
who is our guestie, I wrote that and I produced. Or no, Noah produced. I wrote it, and
a sick beat.
Britney Spears inspired it.
Okay.
Today's guest is a bestie that got into the show. I don't know how he got into the show, but we'll get into that in a second.
We'll probably get into that, yeah.
Yes. You know what? You haven't been introduced yet, so you shut your trap over there, mister.
Yeah. And also make your bed.
It's your bed, first of all. Second of all, I did put a comforter on there just recently.
Yeah, it seems made. I
It
made
was,
it.
it was a
Made-ish.
little messy, and I was like, "Oh shit, I should put this."
You
I
had to
should fix
tousle it
a
up
little
just
bit.
to make it look like
I
you didn't
did.
try too hard.
Like,
All
right,
right.
exactly.
So our bestie, who is a guestie today, is an old friend of mine who we got reconnected recently through social media. Found
Mm-hmm.
each other. I met. Daniel is here today. Daniel is someone I met on spring break in 2002.
Is it 2?
Yes, I believe it was 2.
Okay.
And I was a senior in high school. We were down in Destin, Florida. I was there with my sister, Lauren, and my other best friend, Lauren, who goes by Huffy. And we were down there with my family, and we met these boys.
All stay in the same hotel?
No, we were staying somewhere else, but we met them. Here's the thing. I don't remember exactly
Okay.
how we met. And Daniel is going to share that because he almost told me the other night in Baltimore when I first met. I saw Daniel for the first time in 20 years. I mean, this is 20 years ago. And
Can I preface this with spring break? You never run into your hookup or the person you meet on spring break 20 years later. Like, this never happens.
well, we didn't run into each other. It happened
I
because
know.
we found each other.
I know
through-
that. I'm saying it just doesn't.
But I did always wonder about these boys
Yes.
from Alabama that we called the Alabama boys. We became really good friends.
do
There
you
was
think
no
of that?
hooking up, by the way. We were just friends. We loved them so much. We probably we kind of like had crushes on you, but we didn't even know how to like fucking we'd think about that. But we were just friends and got along so well. We went back to St. Louis and told all our friends about the Alabama boys. I think they came to visit at one point, but we lost touch over the years. And I kind of always wondered if I would ever meet them again, or if they would ever see me on TV and be like, "Is that the girl from St. Louis that we met?"
Yeah.
If they would, if they would go on their Alabama boys text chain and go, "Hey guys, turn on the TV. I think one of the girls we met."
It's one of the Missouri girls.
And it turns out, I think that is what happened. Daniel was, no offense to Lee and Dan. Was it Dan? Was the other one?
Oh, may I speak? Or not?
Yeah,
not yet?
you can speak, I guess.
Okay.
You were my
Yeah.
favorite. I don't want to be mean to them, but you were always my
yeah.
favorite. So that was that's what I was very excited about, was that you got in touch.
That's really nice because we've been debating this for a long time now. Like, first of all, do you remember? Second of all, who was your favorite? So that score has been settled. Thank you.
Did you have like long hair?
Yeah, for sure. And I was probably wearing a hat. Like I wore a hat
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
So
I
when
just
you saw
remember
me,
you with long hair.
when I
What
saw
kind of
you in
hat?
Baltimore, you were probably
University of Alabama?
no,
Auburn?
First of all, Andrew, it's Auburn.
I know you went to Auburn. I remember
You and
now.
I talked at nauseum about this.
Hey, I was nauseous, all right.
But yeah, I don't know if probably was an Auburn hat or something like that.
All
Did
right.
you
It was
comb your
definitely a
hair
hat.
forward? Like,
It was
Yes.
like
bangs?
swooped down.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
swooped down. Yeah.
Swoop.
And it's like,
You had
and
a
you
swoop.
do
It
this.
was
Oh,
cute.
for sure. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay,
that was
so
that's the rage.
Daniel, how did we meet?
Yeah.
Like, what was the circumstance?
Okay.
Because you seem to remember this, and I stopped you before you told me, because I go, just come on the show and let's relive
I
it,
did.
because
And I
it'll
was-
all come back
yeah.
to me.
Yes. So I always thought it was 2001, by the way. But you think it was 2002.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure it was 2002.
Yeah.
Time to change the
Okay.
tattoo.
All right. I know, seriously.
Easy fix.
So 2001, 2002, whatever it was, we were the Alabama boys. So it was Dan, Jake, Lee, and me. So there was a fourth.
Dan, Jake, Lee.
And
Yeah.
me.
I remember.
And
I
me.
don't remember Jake. Sorry, Jake.
Well, Jake was with Huffy most of the time. So
Okay.
if you
okay.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Did they ever kiss or anything like that? Yeah,
yes.
maybe
I think
lightly.
69, actually. Yeah.
Oh my God, no!
I mean, at the time, I'm sure I knew this, but I can't believe I've forgotten it. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So actually, I talked to Jake. I haven't talked to Jake in a while, and we talked for like an hour and a half last night to like
nice.
try to catch up. So
Oh, and remember some stuff?
yeah, and remember some
Okay,
stuff. So
cool.
yeah,
Yes.
so definitely they were together. They were like on off by themselves for most of the trip. But we were at the Crab Trap in Destin, Florida. It's this like I think it's like a local chain now probably. Yeah. And it's probably not a place that we would want to go anymore.
Yeah.
But we were all standing. I remember going to the beach. They had like a little beach bar, and we went down there and got some virgin pina coladas. And we were just drinking those down on the beach. We're like 15, 16. And so then we come back inside, and we're hanging out in the restaurant, and then we're like waiting for our table, and these three lovely ladies approach us. And we're like...
They approached you.
They approached us. And Nikki... It's
not every day you see 'em.
I know. You've like blocked this out of your memory, but you approached us.
Damn.
Yes.
You saw some
Yes.
virgins drinking virgins.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Extra virgin is what you saw.
Oh my God. That
So-
does not shock me, because we had a spring break before our spring break 01. We had gotten approached and like things happened with some boys.
Okay.
And so I think I was feeling a little confident in 02. I'm a senior. I got nothing to lose. I got my little sister. I got to show her how it's done. And I think that and you guys like seemed so nice
And we are.
and not
We still are.
intimidating. Yes.
We still
Yes,
are.
exactly. So yeah, we were like, we were kind of nerdy.
What was her
but,
line?
like-
Do you remember her first line?
Oh no, not at all. We were all just like stunned. Like these women come to us and we're like, girls don't talk to us. Like, what's happening?
These women.
Like, yeah, it was wild. So yeah, you guys came and talked to us, and we were just like, I can't believe this is happening. And then we had dinner, we had dinner separately. Like we were at a table, you were at a table, and then I think this is where I need your help. We think we like went our separate ways, like went back to our hotel condo, freshened up, and met again that night.
We definitely did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so
Back then,
we
did
went,
you have phones? Yeah.
so that's the thing. Okay, we didn't. I don't
We
know if we
didn't
had a
have
phone.
phones.
I don't think we had
So you
phones.
guys
So, like,
just
how did
meet
we
at-
do this?
Meet at the
I
palm
don't
tree.
know.
Yeah.
Meet at the
Right.
palm tree at
And, like,
9.
this is-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the address, like we
We
would have had to look at
probably
a map
said
or
like
something.
meet back around here at this time,
Yeah.
and like we'll meet up.
Meet me
Yeah.
at the pier. Yeah. So you meet
So-
up. So you
yeah.
get freshened up. Are you guys thinking like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
my God, like what am I gonna spray an extra like obsession on or something?
Yeah, someone said
Abercrombie
obsession
Woods.
for men. Yeah.
some woods.
Clinique happy. We're all just like bathing in it. Yeah.
You guys have to be excited too, leaving and then going to meet. I mean, there's 3 boys. There's 3 of you.
Yeah, I mean, but I got to be honest.
four-
I was
There's 4
not. I was not
boys,
like
sorry.
thinking hookup. I was just like, I
No.
just wanted to meet cute boys. Like I was.
Yeah,
I did not
yeah.
have like dick on the brain. Like I wasn't like, man, I can't wait to.
Yeah.
Suck and fuck. Like that
Yeah.
was not Nikki Glaser
Same.
2002. I just
We
wanted to
didn't
be
have
around
vag
cute
on the
boys
brain.
and flirt and have crushes. Like we just wanted.
Yes.
I still to this day just love being like, oh my god, boys! Like so excited and being like, which one do you like? Like picking your favorite.
But
and,
that's
like,
hard though, is because if there's 3 and then 4 of you, who gets who? And
Yeah,
that's
so
always
it wasn't hard on
Exactly.
us. We get there's we all
We'll take
have someone-
anything.
Yeah.
So, but there is thinking like that. Like I'm sure when you guys were like, okay, I like the blonde one.
Oh, I'm sure.
You like the brunette
for
one.
Sure, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Jake, you'll
That
take
all, you know.
anything.
Right. Jake, seriously. He was much
No
more
offense,
experienced
Huffy.
than we were at that time. Like, Jake was.
Huffy was kind of I'll take
Yeah.
anything too.
I love the I'll take
I don't
anything.
know anything about
crowd.
Jake. I don't remember, but Huffy was the one that was just like, who wants to make out with me? Huffy was looking for some action.
Yeah.
Jake is your
Huffy-
guy. Like
yes.
he was experienced. So
yeah,
it
those
was
are the 2
perfect.
friends that found
Yep.
each other. That makes sense.
It is
Yeah,
funny. We're
yeah.
like, Jake was experienced. What did he do? He kind of fingered a girl once.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that was
that
like
was back then. That was
Way more than anything.
Oh my god, he was
you
a
know?
Lothario. Yeah. So wait a second. But something interesting about this is that it was me and my sister then, like and my sister and I were not social together in high school. She was popular and as a sophomore, and I was somewhere in between as a senior. And so my sister had a lot more experience with boys, not just physically, but like just being friends with cool boys than I really did. So it's interesting to me that me and my sister did this together.
Yeah.
But we
That's
had
interesting.
a great time with you guys.
Oh my god,
and
it
I
was
think
so
it
much
bonded
fun.
us.
So what did you guys do? Like throw a turtle or something?
Throw a turtle? What did we do?
Well, so we went to your place. Did we meet your parents? Were your
Probably.
parents there?
Yes. Yeah, my parents are cool
Okay.
too, and I'm guessing
know.
you met them. Yes, they were there.
Yeah,
they were
I
there.
don't
We were
know.
staying with my
Okay.
parents. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we just I feel like you had like 2 levels. We hung out down in the
Yep.
lower level.
Yep.
And we just like talked. We were just talking for hours and hours and hours.
Yes.
Is what I think.
We were obsessed. Like I was like, these are our best friends. Like I
Yes.
was so sad when we had to say goodbye. Like there was this really intense bond that happened of like, why don't these boys go to school with us?
Yeah.
Like, and we, they're not going to graduate until next year. Where are they going to go to school? Like where or how can we have them in our lives? Like there was just like this longing for like, why can't we have these kind of boys in our lives? Where were they in high school for us?
I feel
Right.
like there's an energy when I'd go on a cruise. You get the best. You got the best Daniel. You got the best. You got the
Yes.
best of Nikki.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that
They were just
energy
so
comes
nice
together and
and
it
funny.
like I don't know. It ignites when you have only
Yeah.
a few days together. It really does. Even if it's friendship.
I
So you're
rem-
like, where
yeah.
are these boys? You probably had some boys in Missouri in your school that
we
were
had-
similar, but you
they
don't
were
realize
special.
it.
They just got our sense of humor right
Yeah.
away, which is very unique
Totally.
and absurd. Like we were definitely a different type. Like I hear it all the time of people being like, in high school, you guys were so like
Weird.
Well, I just tell stories about the things we were like. The other day, I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, because Kirsten sent me this card for my birthday where she drew a picture of us now, and then she drew a drawing of like this picture of us back in middle school where we used to just like wet our hair and slick it back. And we in high school we would refer to that photo of us from 8th grade as like, look at us, we looked like such slick fucks. So we would always be like, don't look like a slick fuck tonight. That kind of sense of humor in high school to refer to yourselves as oh I'm such a slick fuck.
Yeah.
Like we were really funny
Yes.
and weird, and I don't think a
Yes.
lot of boys who were trying to be knew these guys were not at all.
We were not.
There was no
we were
kuh.
trying. Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
what was
There was not an
refreshing.
ounce of that in our bones. And I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
So how many days did you guys end up? Just that night? Was this one special night?
3 or 4 days. It
Oh.
had to have
So
been
it was
like,
it was
yeah.
several. We'll call it a few.
several.
Son of a bitch.
And there, I
Eons
think there was
together
one
in
time where
Anderson.
we actually someone said we walked to. Jake thought this. He was like, we walked. You were like on one end of Destin, we were on the other, and we walked to the beach to you, which I think is insane. But does that
I
sound
bet. I
familiar?
mean, that would sound accurate to me. Like back then, we would have walked to you. Like we
Yeah,
were
right.
so
Yeah.
obsessed with you, and
Yeah.
we came back with the story to tell our friends of like the Alabama
Yeah.
boys. We found the
Yeah.
best boys ever that are
my
literally
God.
us in boy form.
Yes.
Of like same sense of humor, like to talk about the same kind of things, like the same music.
But there had to have been some kind of wanting
Yeah,
to
but I
kiss.
did not. But I was the only time I had ever kissed someone was the year before in spring break.
Yeah,
and
two
it
for
was,
two.
But no, but I was the guy like was really aggressive, which is
Okay.
what I needed. And these guys were not. No offense, you are not
Super
aggressive
sweet- no,
boys that
super
are gonna
sweet
like
boys.
make a
Yes.
move.
No,
and
no.
I am not someone that's
Except for
gonna be
Jake,
like
but-
I'm gonna make a move. And so I mean, at that point in my life, there was no I would have never been kissed had someone not been like very.
I get
deliberate
that, but there
about it.
must have been 3 or 4 days. That's like a
Oh yeah,
a substantial amount of time
Yeah, we
to
had-
form a crush.
Yes, well, there were
Yeah.
crushes happening.
Okay, there
I
were
had a
crushes.
I had a
Oh,
crush on
oh.
Daniel for sure because
There were
I had a
hard
crush,
crushes.
I had a
Okay.
crush on the
Crushing
long-haired
so
one.
hard.
Okay,
so hard
okay.
crushing.
All right,
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Like, don't get
Because
it
this
twisted,
seemed very
Andrew.
platonic, but I'm
No,
thinking
and I
there's
think
some crushes.
Did Lee like my sister? I felt like Lee and my sister had more of a thing, and then Dan was
That's-
somewhere just
yeah.
like floating in the middle. But I
Yes,
felt like
yes.
you and I were like mainly. I don't know if we were friends or like we probably had mutual crushes and would never talk about
Yeah,
it.
for
But
sure.
like it was you and I think it was
Yeah.
my sister and Lee, and then
Yes, thank
Huffy
you.
and whoever.
Yes, that's been a debate. I'm telling you, we've been debating this for weeks now, and I'm like, Lee, you had the crush on Lauren.
Yes,
so
he
yes,
did,
I
he
think
did.
you're absolutely right.
Now,
Okay,
were you
good,
old?
good.
Were you Nikki's age at this point, or
No,
were
that
you
he was
I'm a year
younger.
younger.
Year young? Oh,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
in between. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another thing. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
when did you ever come across, did you know of me before you put it together that I was the girl back then, or did we connect on Facebook at some point? Like, was there
Well,
always
yeah.
an awareness of me?
Oh God, I'm like sweating, guys. It's hot in here.
No, it's
Take
fine.
your shirt off or something.
You want me to?
Remind me
I've
of
got-
spring break again.
Yeah.
Let's see that spring break body. Yeah. Get on the
Full
bull.
dad bod now. So wait, what was
Prove
the
it.
question?
Oh, like when did you, because I got a text from Huffy who I don't
Oh,
really
yes,
even
yes.
talk to that much anymore. And she
Right.
wrote a bunch of us being like, the Alabama boys got in touch with me. This was
Yes.
3 weeks ago. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And for me, that sends back all of this nostalgia of like, my friends are out there, like these guys that I was like so into. And honestly, I was thinking of you because I was thinking about the long haired one named Daniel, but I didn't remember your last name. And I was like, oh my God, like who was it? And she sent it and it was the other Dan, but I'm like, I know they're still friends. There's no way they're not still friends. And then I Googled, and then then she sent me something, and then I just looked up your name and I
Yeah.
went to message you, and then you had already
Yeah.
messaged me. It was loaded. I just hadn't seen
Yeah.
it. And I was like, yes, a connection has
Yes.
been made.
I
So
know.
what led to that?
So a few weeks ago, my wife and I watch a lot of trash TV, garbage TV. Love it. And so
Thank
we were
you.
watching
I
Bravo.
appreciate that you're doing that.
And like an advert for your show came up, and I was like, holy shit, Nikki has a show on E now. And my wife was like, weren't you friends with her? And I was like, yes, like we were, the best of friends. So
Yes.
then we started thinking about this, and then the guys and I are going to plan a trip, or we are planning a trip to Destin in November. So we're like just like talking about going back, and we're like just reminiscing about the trip with you guys, and it's like, guys, we have got to talk to Nikki. We've got to find her. and so with you, it was like you've got a million people that pay attention to you, and so it's like there's no way she's gonna see my message through all the dick and tit pics. So I was like,
I could have,
can
but
we-
I just missed it. There's some days where
Yeah.
I really would have seen it. I'm
Yeah.
so mad I didn't, but
it's okay. So
but I
then
did
we were like,
eventually.
all right, let's try your sister, and she never got back to us.
Oh,
but
yeah,
then
that's even
so
harder.
then Lee's the only one that still has Facebook, and so we're like, Lee, what is Huffy's name now? Because I'm sure it's changed. So he stalked her down. He found so he found her name.
good.
Yeah, and we were like Huffy,
And then Huffy
So we
was the one
messaged
that
her.
texted me and made it all happen.
Yeah, because I told her, I
It's-
was like, I'm going to go see your show in Baltimore. Then just we were reminiscing about the trip, and
Yes. So what happened to your life? So you went to we lost touch almost, I would say, within a year or two. Like I think you guys came to visit my family one time and stay at our house.
We did.
You said,
yeah,
and that,
Lee and I were on a
that.
road trip. Yeah, we were on a road trip, and I don't even know how we got in touch with you and Lauren, but I guess it was Facebook. And you weren't there, but we stayed at your house,
Telegraph,
which was the Mullet House. Oh my God! When
the
you said
Mullet
that,
House.
Andrew, the other day, I was like, oh my God, it was a Mullet House. And dude, oh my God, that house. I have so many memories in that house. I know we're running short on time, but Lee and I, we got on the David Letterman. Well, we didn't get on the David Letterman show, but we became audience members we were at your house, and we knew we were going to New York City from St. Louis, and so we called the Letterman show to get tickets, and they called us back, and we had to answer a trivia question, and we got tickets. We were in your pool, and we got tickets to go see the David Letterman show. So
that's
your
so
house,
fun.
Your house was so awesome. It was so cool. To be
I
there.
love that you guys. God. It makes me so sad that we'll never have this time in our life back where it's like,
that
we're
young,
free and like you just meet random boys and
You guys can cheat.
I know, but it's just you can't do that anymore. You can't do that stuff.
What if he grew his hair out?
So what do you do now? Yeah, get that swoop back.
Yeah, I mean, I could. It's actually thinning out a little bit. It's
You look like you got a good. No, you're fine. How old are you now? 36.
37.
So you're old. It's fine. Your hair's
Every
gonna be
guy
fine.
says
a couple
that. That's
more
actually
years.
receding a little right now.
Yeah, but
No,
it's,
it is.
if
It's
you've
a
got
little-
most of it, you're okay. What became of you? Well, give me
So-
what your life is now.
Yeah, thank you. So went to Auburn for school.
Tigers.
And studied go Tigers. Studied like construction management. So I'm in construction. And I interviewed with this company at school, and they had a job offer in Southern California. So I moved out there and was out there for like 8 years. And we were there. We crossed paths at
God,
the
we
same
were
time.
at the
I know,
same
like we
time.
were
Where were you,
We
San
could've hung
Diego?
out.
Right there.
I'm so
No, I was in
mad.
LA.
Oh, you're in LA.
You were
He's
in
in
LA.
LA.
Yeah,
We
dude,
were
no,
in
like,
LA at the same time.
Yeah,
This is so
I know.
annoying, Daniel.
It's
okay.
so fucked up. So
Okay.
So anyways, so yeah, then let's see. My wife and I got drunk one day and decided to go house hunting out there, and we were looking at a house that was like, just crappy neighborhood, had offers already. It was like, and then it was like $1.2 million, and we were like, fuck this, we cannot stay here anymore. So we're like, let's leave. So we, long story short, moved to Baltimore. Where we have this
How did you meet your
massive
wife?
home where you're going to stay with us. We met at a 40-year-old's birthday party out there in Pasadena.
A 40-year-old.
40-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
Did you know the guy? It
How
makes
did
it
you
sound
both
like you.
know
it was
them?
like a mutual.
Is that a
it was
new
like
dating thing?
Yeah.
Did you walk 7 miles down a beach to go find
Yeah,
it?
I mean, yeah.
What-
So,
um, what do you mean it was a 40-year-old's birthday party?
it was like a mutual friend that we had, an older friend.
Okay.
She come up
How
to
long
you?
did you date before? Yeah, did she approach you?
So we
What
were,
was-
well, she like walked up the steps and she made some funny motion with her body and arms, and I was like, I need to know you. I like you.
that's cute.
And,
Drinking. I had sex
I
with
love
9
those
people.
moments.
Pina colada.
Yeah. So yeah, it was
I love
very.
those. Those
it
are
was
my
very
favorite
instant with
stories
her.
of like, how did you know, or like, what
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
What was the thing? And she just did something funny that you were just
She
like,
just did
wait,
something
that
funny.
person's. Yes.
Like I need her
Love
in my
it.
life. So we were friends for a long
Aw.
time, and then so she loves music just as much as I do.
How did you
so we
take it
kinda-
from friends to romantic? You were friends for a while. You obviously liked her
was-
so much.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey girl, type
Wait,
thing.
no, but
Hell
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, it goes from like you guys are both like, she probably likes you, but doesn't really know if you like her. And then like,
Yeah.
who makes the first? That's the most interesting moment, I
Yeah.
think, in humanity
Wow.
is that switch of like,
I'm gonna let
you're
I'm gonna let
taking
you
a
down
chance.
because I don't know. I don't know. I think you're gonna have to ask her those questions. My memory.
You're gonna have to find
so
out
bad.
because that's
Yeah.
an important moment. Maybe she
Yeah.
won't remember. I'm always shocked when people don't. Boys never remember those times where I'm always
Yeah.
like, "What was the moment you knew?" What?
He
and
said
I
when
have
she
it
was
like,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
who's
a great.
that?
Yeah, that's a cool. She
It
did
really
that
was.
Did it
thing.
again.
She was outside a car dealership trying to flag people in. Okay, so then you have a kid now.
So we have a kid now. So she's amazing. I wish she's napping. So my wife has COVID. Oh, it's been awful, and so she's.
Yeah, you said she had COVID for a while. Some people
For a
just
while.
can't get it out of their fucking system,
Yeah.
and it keeps
so
going.
We both had
Oh,
it twice.
sorry.
We've done all this. Yeah, it's awful. So,
Yeah.
anyways, what that means that our child, Vivian, is her name.
Oh,
she's two
great
and
name.
Some change. Oh my God, she's amazing. She can't go to daycare for 2 weeks, so we're both like, my wife works, I'm working. We're like trying to live our lives.
Oh my God,
have
and you're doing a
toddler, and it's-
podcast.
It's
Do you call her
fucking impossible.
Viv?
Yes. We do. We call her Viv, Vivi. She calls herself Vivi and Vivian.
That is a
We
great
call her all-
name.
yeah.
Congratulations. Have you met other
Thank you.
Vivians? Was that
No,
a
they're all
po-
they're all dead now. But yeah.
Yeah, that's like a that's a very almost like an Esther, like an older
How did you
Pearl
pick Vivian?
name.
It really truly was my wife's grandmother's best friend's name, which I think is
That's
kinda-
cute.
And she just
So
passed away.
your wife's grandmother's secret lesbian lover.
Yes.
That's what
exactly.
whenever grandmothers have best
Exactly.
friends, like
Right.
lifelong best friends,
Yeah,
you go,
right.
oh, it was a different time. They couldn't be
Yes.
out. Well, I'm so glad your daughter's named
Oh
after
my
your
God. Yep.
wife's grandmother's.
Lesbian grandmother.
Yeah. Secret gay lover. No, that's so sweet. I was just saying this weekend that like, because I kind of don't even know that if I ever want to get married, but but I would just end up calling whoever I was with my husband just so people didn't feel awkward when I was like 70 something being
Yeah.
like my boyfriend. Like grandmas
okay.
having boyfriends
Yeah.
is just too weird.
Yeah,
My
they
grandma
think-
used to have a boyfriend and it would always crack me up to be like my grandma's boyfriend Art.
Well, if they have a boyfriend, you assume their husband died.
Yes.
You always go, oh, so when did your husband die? 3 years ago?
You don't
Now
think
that
of
you
her
have,
as just like
it's someone that just kind of,
plays by her own rules. She's just a widow.
yeah, she's just a
Yeah.
widow.
All right. Well, we've ran the gamut of this discussion.
Yeah.
Daniel, thank you so much for joining
Guys,
us and taking
thank
time out
you
of
so
your
much.
COVID
Yeah.
life.
It's
Yeah.
my true honor. Thank you so much for having
Well,
me.
we're gonna be
This was
friends now.
awesome.
Like truly, I wanna vacation together again. I want our families to
Seriously.
be friends. Like
Let's do it.
we made a
I wanna meet
solid
Jake.
friendship. Yeah, what's Jake up to?
You actually, guys, you two would be really good. You guys,
You're
look
a-
alike.
you're a
Actually, you guys
Jake.
look alike, straight up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He's receding
Daniel,
hair.
will
Jewish
you
guy.
send me a picture of you boys back in the day?
Yes.
Because I really want to remember
I
what
know
you guys looked like.
I have a very
I
strong
have an
idea of
idea
what
too.
they.
You
I
still
know
look the same.
Alabama boys, and
Alabama boys.
They really
I think one of them had a gray T-shirt with their sleeves rolled up at one point.
no, they were
Ooh,
like
no
kind of
way.
donuts.
No.
They were donuts, and do you know what I mean by donut? Okay,
What-
that
no,
was
what is it?
when it
Donut.
was a type of guy.
Donut.
Yeah. So it was a type of guy that we were really into that would have like kind of be like into Fish and like the Grateful Dead and Dave Matthews that had the
Yep.
swoopy long hair and were kind of like outdoorsy, not Hoosiers, not rednecks, but just like of the earth and wore like hemp
Hemp.
necklaces, and they weren't quite that, but they had that
Yeah, we were-
spirit
yeah.
about them.
Totally.
And Donuts comes from the Fish song Wilson that goes Donut, Donut,
Wilson.
and so we called them Donuts. But you guys were
Got
you
it.
guys were on.
What were
you
your
were
all's
just
favorite
nice.
band back then?
Dave Matthews.
Hootie.
Dave Matthews.
For sure.
Oh, so that was probably
I mean,
what
that
connected
was it.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I needed back then.
Yeah, and the John Mayer album that had neon
Yes,
on
that
it.
had just
That was the
that had
song.
just come-
That was the track.
what
Which one?
we were
Which one?
obsessed with neon.
Oh my God.
Neon.
Neon.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God.
Yes,
that was
that
like
is definitely
the best.
what made us all get along. Was just talking about how
Yes.
much we love John Mayer, Room for Squares.
Yes.
He would just arrived on the scene. He was like indie, dude. Like no one knew about
Oh,
him.
yeah.
So to find
Oh,
these
totally.
boys that knew about John
Yeah.
Mayer, who I had seen open
Well-
for Guster 8 months prior, like it was wild to be like, you guys know John Mayer too, and we would talk about the CD that, like, this is before CDs and before, it was back in the day. 20 years later, Daniel Burson,
Gosh,
so good to have
here
you
we
on the
are.
show. Thank you for
Thank you so
listening to the
much.
show. Thank
Thank
you
you
for being a
both.
fan,
Thank
and
you,
thank you for
Noah.
being my friend.
Love you guys.
Daniel Burson, love you too.
Mwah.
Hope your wife
See you
feels
soon.
better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give
All
my
right.
love to the fam.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Daniel.
And your grandma's friend who died.
Oh boy, final thought.
It's got to be so fun to reminisce like that.
It is so fun. It's what's so funny is like I was even nervous to be like, I had a crush on you.
Yeah, I
And,
felt
'cause he's
tension
married-
the whole
Not
time.
that it wasn't there was literally no tension.
I felt a lot of
There
tension.
was like 1% of me being like,
Nah, I'm
well,
kidding.
what if that feels like he's married? Like, I
Yes.
don't want that to be like a weird thing. Not that it would ever be, but I'm always kind of thinking of that. And also like it, and there's a high school part of me is like, but I knew he liked me back. Like, I wasn't a dummy. I just knew that we literally loved each other. Like, I loved him.
He's a very kind soul.
I
guess
just was
you
like,
could say.
oh my God. Like, but we were both too scared to ever like make a move on each other. I mean, and it felt so comfortable with him that I knew that he was never going to make a move. Like it was not, I wasn't
he's the kinda
constantly
guy-
being like, oh my God, you might kiss me. And then it would make it weird because we're friends. Like, it was a friendship of like, someday we'll probably get together. Not anytime soon. I don't feel threatened by this person. Because there would be guys that I'd be friends with. And then all of a sudden you'd get the vibe that they sense that you like them. And then things fucking get weird.
Yeah.
And with him, it was just, I think we said I love you back then. Like, I really was like, I loved them. Loved them.
I could see you guys doing it through Dave lyrics, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I would do that with boys all the time. And as soon as it would get a little bit too, like, lover lay down would come on, and I'd be like, this is too much about sex. Like, let's get back to tripping Billies. Let's keep it light in here. Let's get back to a song about deforestation.
Is that what it's about?
No, I mean, he writes a lot about, like, don't drink the water.
What's in it?
The pollution.
Oh.
And the white man.
I like that one song about the bartender, make me a drink.
Yeah, fix me a drink.
I don't need to think. Whatever
Yeah.
that song.
He's
that
just a
that
sad guy
one
at a
chorus is. I just remember like drinking in my 20s, being like, "Man, Dave gets it." Like I'm so, like
I
that
know,
was
any song that makes you feel cool about drinking. God, it's just fuck yeah. Anything that'll just. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Anyhow.
cigarettes, even like, you know, Mad Men making me feel like it's cool, like, to smoke. There's so many things that make you feel cool
Mad Men.
that culturally just convince you that it's the right thing to do. Oh God, reminiscing. This is where I get really sad because I'm just like, God, being a teenager was the fucking best. The possibilities that were like just endless. And I feel like the older you get, the less time you obviously have, but the more like everything gets smaller.
Yeah.
And like you can't have everyone in your life that you want to have in your life. You can't have friends around constantly. Everyone has a job, everyone has a wife, everyone has a husband, everyone has kids. Like you can't keep the party going. And there's something about that like I think that's why I'm still single and have the job that I have. I want to keep the party. I want to keep the hang going.
Yeah.
Not the party. I'm not a partier. I don't like going, this is the way it's going to be forever. Now I don't like commitment. And I think I'm right to not like commitment because it makes
Slower.
it so you can't
Slower.
change.
Slower.
I don't like commitment because it means that's what you're due to you till you die. And it reminds me of death. And that's why commitment scares me.
But the commitment could be with you while you change. You change together.
But I know, but you'll always be with that person. And that means that there will never be anyone new in your life. There will never be another way, especially with a romantic relationship. You'll never get that butterflies in your stomach of someone new that you met that, oh my God, what could this be? You'll never have the first date. You'll never have the first kiss. You'll never have, and I'm only thinking about this for relationships because I literally, I get that feeling for a new job, for a new restaurant I find, for a new pet I get. But those things I can have for a new friend I meet, a new show, a new song. Those things I can do over and over and over. There's no limit. But a partner, you get one, and then you have to keep it, and then you can never. And yeah, you can do, like I was saying yesterday, you can role play and like pretend it's someone new, but you never really get the excitement of something new again.
But here's the thing. I think, for me at least,
But you get so much more out of the fact that you grow together and you have such an intense relationship.
That's not what I was going to say. That's not what I was going to say.
What?
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, what do you think about tacos?
No, you
No,
were gonna
I was
say
going to say
something
this, and I
like
really do think it's a fucking real point that the new thing that you experience, all these new things you're experiencing with someone else. So you could experience 99 new things except for the one new partner, but all those new things will feel great telling someone else how great they are.
But if I had a partner, I could tell them about how great a song was, and I could still, if they allowed me to have other partners, or if society allowed me to have other partners,
Look,
or
you
even
can-
I allowed myself to have. But no, it's not even about like I want other partners. It's about the fact that it just won't work. You cannot in relationships having multiple partners, even if I wanted it's not sustainable. It doesn't work. It ends up like if I get a new friend, it doesn't deteriorate my other friends. If I get a new dog, it doesn't deteriorate. If I have 2 kids, no one says, "Oh, you have 2 kids, but what about your 1 kid?" No, you don't have enough love for 2. Well, maybe I do.
Well, where it works is if
So why can't I have enough love?
you can It's just you can't in society or whatever, however the hell we want to talk
No,
about
I know. I
you
feel the same
can't-
way. I
you
don't want my
can't-
boyfriend to have 2 girlfriends.
You can't take it to the next level. You could have multiple. You could be dating. If you didn't have a boyfriend, you could date 10
There's
different
no
guys.
point in having a crush for me unless there's the opportunity that it could be forever, which is ironic because I don't want forever. But the fantasy that we could get married and all these things that I play out, if that isn't possible because I have a partner in which that keeps me from those things, it's like dreaming about flying. I'm not going to fucking fantasize about flying. I can't fly.
What I'm saying is, if you take a partner out of it, you can have everything you're saying. You could have all these new experiences. You just can't make one solidified. You could have. There's no problem dating multiple people.
I
No
know,
one
but
cares. No one gets hurt.
But what I'm talking about is I have the fantasy
want
of the one.
Yeah.
And that when you have the fantasy of the one and then you get the one,
Yeah.
you can't have more. It's like I feel about Christmas. I never want to open my Christmas presents because then the fantasy of what it could be is over, and you just but then you have the present, Nikki. Go play with the present. The present isn't as good as what the present could be, ever, to me. And there's something that I got to work on in therapy. Thanks for listening to the show. That's a wrap. I got to go. That is that. That's how I wrap every day. I'm going to go do a podcast with Jason Nash. Is it going to be good? Yeah, just a little bit of a dash of me and him and some other people. I'm going to a studio down the street. It's going to start at 2, and then I'm going to go to pickleball. I'm going to go hang out with my boyfriend and all of his friends. I hope he doesn't ask me to go on the court because I can't hold a racket, and I don't have a skirt. A skirt would be a cute thing to wear to tennis. If I find a cute outfit, then maybe I'll feel like Elaine Bennis. Cool and chic and fun and nice. That's the end of this. And now go get me some ice.
Yeah.
Another ice machine that my boyfriend fixed the other night because he was so efficient, and he's a boy and I can't do it, and I've been delaying calling the super, and this isn't a rap anymore. It's just the facts.
Alligator, turtles, mice, and cheese. Everyone has nothing if you don't get off your knees. Stop crawling towards the sun and run to the moon. If we're not eating hard, we're not eating with spoons.
Hell yes. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Don't be cut and Jake.